What is up, Cowboys Nation? Boy, Mike Tag here, just hanging out. Lots of drama amongst Cowboys Nation. So just figured, I gotta come in for a little bit. I'm gonna talk to you guys, maybe talk some off the ledge, maybe some over the ledge, but we'll figure it out. But really, just want to get y'all's opinion. Let me just do this right quick. And get your opinion and get you guys' thoughts on day 2, man, and see what you guys thinking. But more importantly, if you guys are new to the channel, man, I just came in just to pop in. I got about 35 minutes. Then I got to go see my son is taking over his father's legacy in slow pitch softball. So we're gonna see what he's got. He's making his debut tonight. So I told him I'd go check it out. But all the stuff I'm seeing, obviously, with free agency and everything that's going on, just wanted to pop in to give you guys either a chance to vent or a chance to talk through it, or some of you guys, upset. Some of you guys are okay. There's been a mixed bag. So definitely want to get your guys' comments, your guys' thoughts on what's going on, because right now, looking at the Cowboys, they didn't make any big splash signings. I mean, you've got Kavonte Turpin. You got what's his name? Solomon Thomas. He was a 3rd overall pick with the 49ers. Never really panned out. And I think you had a Peyton Turner. I had to look it up because I don't even know it by heart. But Peyton Turner was the other guy. Obviously made some signings yesterday with Robert Jones, the offensive guard. Got Turpin, 3-year, $18 million. So they went ahead and got Turpin. Went ahead and get Javonte Williams, a vet, not a veteran. He's still only 24 years old, running back. So when I look at it, I'm thinking, okay, when Kelly and I and Jimmy and I and the crew in the Cowboys Cave are talking, I said, I don't need them to do splash signings. I knew they wouldn't. But what I wanted to see him get a running back. I wanted to draft a running back, but I want to get a veteran running back. Whether they had kept Rico or not, get somebody. Wanted them to get some defensive line help, get some depth there, because that was a major problem for us. Would like to get linebackers. Haven't seen that yet. And now losing a cornerback, you're probably going to need a cornerback. So they've done pretty much what I wanted. Now, are they the players that you want? I don't know. I mean, I'm not a scout. I'm not going to pretend to be a scout. I don't want to sit there and say, what's up, Frankie, my man from Germany, hanging out in the U.S., getting ready. We're going to be having a good time at the Cowboys Cave tailgate party, whatever happens this season. But, they're a first-round draft. Both defensive guys are first-round draft picks, so they got to have some skills. It didn't pan out for them where they were at. Maybe under Eberflus, maybe he feels that he can get the most out of them. I mean, how many times do you see guys that are bargain basement guys, and they end up being journeymen that end up doing well and having a big year because they're in the right system, right environment? So I don't know how it's going to work out for them, but they've addressed the positions that I've asked them, not me personally, but the ones in my mind that I wanted them to address. So that's where we're at now. Now, are they done? Hopefully not. Cooper Kupp, I mean, that's a name that's been floated out there. I said a veteran receiver. I'd like him to get a veteran receiver. But at the end of the day, I said this free agency needs to be about meat and potatoes. I need playmakers in the draft. I didn't think they're going to get playmakers in free agency. I mean, and I hate to defend Jerry because I don't want to, because they should be spending money when you see Chauncey Golston signed for what he did. Well, the Cowboys, you think could have did that, but maybe they just weren't that high on him. Maybe the new coaching staff and the new defensive coordinator just didn't think he'd fit. So I'm not in the locker room. I'm not in the meeting rooms. I'm not a scout, so I'm not going to begin to understand why they do things, why certain players they let go. Did they try and get a cornerback and maybe were outbid? I don't know either because I'm not there. So they've been more active. So we got to give them kudos for that. I mean, last season was a disaster, and the depth that we lost with the injuries and everything else and the players that left and we never replaced them, that destroyed this team. That killed the team. So, they're getting some guys that are they Micah Parsons? No, but you got Micah Parsons. I mean, how many game breakers, can you have on one team? I mean, you need, go look at again, here goes Mike Tag going back to the Cowboys, go back to the days in the 90s. It was the Tony Tolberts. It was the Robert Jones, the other Robert Jones. It was the Darren Smiths. It was the Leon Letts. It was the Chad Hennings, the Tony Casillas, the Kevin Gogans. It was those kind of guys that really brought the championships to those teams. Obviously, you had the triplets, but they weren't winning Super Bowls without those other guys. And you're not going to be able to have a superstar and the highest paid guy at every position. So that's where I say for the Cowboy fans that want to jump off the ledge, just pump the brakes a little bit and just relax. You got to let things play out. But they've made the signings and the positions kind of that at least I think most people wanted. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me see what you guys say. Let's see. Ultra. Ultra is always a voice of reason. I mean, players on expiring contracts will be their targets with their 5th round picks. So, they got some comp picks. So they picked up some 5th rounders. They picked up a 6th rounder. So they're going to have more draft capital. Maybe they're going to be able to leverage that to move around, maybe get into that 4th round, hopefully, because they don't have a 4th round pick. And I do not want them to draft a running back past the 3rd. But really looking at the draft, and you're losing J. Lou, is cornerback become a priority? And a lot of people, laughed at Mikey Schefter comes in the cave, and he's talking about Barron, the kid from Texas that he's their 1st round pick in his mock draft. And it was just the way the draft fell. But maybe cornerback is the need. And some, some people say, well, we need a wide receiver. But to me, cornerback is premium. And if one of those cornerbacks are there, I'm thinking you take cornerback with the 1st pick and you go wide receiver the 2nd round, running back in the 3rd round and see where it goes. But, losing J. Lou, you're not going to have Diggs. So they're going to need a cornerback. And they missed out. I mean, if there's an argument the Cowboy fans can make is like, hey, guys, why didn't you go at least get a cornerback? At least get a cornerback. Pay a little money for that because we're in trouble. Even if it was a 1-year, 2-year deal, knowing that you're going to have to pay Bland, you're unsure what's going to happen with Diggs. Is he going to be able to be back to the form that he was, or is he pretty much possibly on his last, I don't want to say last leg, but his last year with Dallas? You don't know. So, that's where I think if there's some gripe with the front office, maybe there's definitely with cornerback. Will Johnson's another good one. Barron, I think, is really good too. I don't think you're going to go wrong with any of those top cornerbacks. I think they're all playmakers. I've never been one with measurables. They talked about BB's arms are too short. Well, he looked pretty damn good to me as a rookie. And then some guys, they say, oh, well, they're not tall enough, not fast enough, not this and that. I look at the game tape, and I'm no Texas fan. I mean, I think anyone will tell you that I'm no Texas fan. But that man, he made big plays in big games. And that's what I'm talking about, playmakers. That's what this team could use more of. I'm talking about guys that make big plays in big games. Campbell's another guy. Campbell, I believe he's Alabama. Is that the Alabama kid? I mean, he's another one. So there's definitely, maybe to me, a shift in priority for the Cowboys if they did not dress the cornerback position. Now, there's still some guys out there. I mean, there's still some guys out there that they can get. Let me look and see what we've got for cornerback. I think all the big guys gone, but Rasul Douglas is there. Asante Samuel, that's an interesting one because that was one a lot of Cowboy fans really wanted, and they ended up getting oh God, what was his name? My son. Kelvin Joseph over him. And that didn't work out well. But Samuel had a really good rookie year. It's been I think he battled some injuries. I don't really follow the Chargers that much. But, you've got him out there who's a young guy that you may not have to pay a ton of money to. So that would be someone that maybe they look at. He's still out there. So I'm not going to hit the panic button yet and say, oh, the free agency's done. I mean, we typically know that second wave is kind of where the Cowboys play the most. I was just happy to see him at least be active. And geez, let's have an applause or something. They signed a couple guys to more than a 1-year contract. I mean, they never do that. They got a 2-year, which that kind of bugs me a little bit, because I think you need to have guys committed. And I think if guys on a 1-year deal are just kind of looking for their next deal. And I think you got to have a few guys in here with 2-3-year deals. That way there's a little bit of a commitment to the organization. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. I don't know your guys' thoughts, man. If you guys are pissed off, let me hear it, because I want to, I like to hear both sides. I don't want to call myself a homer. I don't want to call myself a negative fan. I'm somewhere in the middle, man. I'm going to keep it real, but I don't live in the world of negativity. I don't like to live in that world of negativity. I just don't think it's good for your mind and your soul. And I just don't like to live that lifestyle. So you can be upset, you can be disappointed. But at the end of the day, when these guys roll up, man, it's, I'm a Cowboys for life, man. I'm ready to roll. So that's pretty much where I'm at. But, looking at Solomon Thomas, I mean, 3rd overall pick with the 49ers. He's been around a while. He's definitely has not lived up to the 3rd overall pick. That's for damn sure. Peyton, another guy that was, I think he was a 28th pick, maybe for the Saints. So he's another one that injuries kind of got the best of him. And, the Cowboys always seem to have a thing for injuries and value. And sometimes it pays off and sometimes it doesn't. And we will see what happens with these guys. Now, I wanted to see Davis back. I want to see Tank back, but they signed these guys. You just wonder, are they going to come back? Or maybe that's kind of saying that that might be the end. The Turpin signing was, and I don't think the Cowboys get enough credit. We rough them up, justifiably so, a lot of times. But looking at, they signed Turpin, 3-year, $18 million. I mean, everyone's the highest paid of positions now. He's the highest paid kick returner. Let's see. Rich said he heard at the combine the Cowboys were out on a lot of their own free agents. So far, pretty accurate. No, I mean they really haven't. I mean, Osa they signed, and no one wants to count that. But look at what they got Osa for, and look at the other money that was going out there. Typically, those early first round, the early free agents, man, teams are overspending because they got a ton of cap space, so they're going to overspend. I mean, and that's kind of what you see, or not what you see, but what you saw early. I mean, some of those guys, I mean, 26, million for Williams. I mean, is he that much better than Osa? I mean, is he that much? Is he 6, 12, 18, 24, 30 something $million better than Osa? I don't know. I mean, I think Osa's solid. So they do spend money. Their philosophy has been a lot on their homegrown guys, and the guys that they want to keep around, they will pay. I mean, what's his name is going to get paid. How do I say Parsons? What's his name? But prove me wrong, please. I want the Cowboys to be competitive. All right, my man Frankie. I love you, Frankie, but you got to comment competitive. They were 12-5 for 3 straight years. They lost their quarterback. They lost their cornerback. They lost their defensive end. They lost their defensive tackle. They lost their other cornerback. I mean, don't hold the 7-10 year on the Cowboys like that was, that was the team that you're going to see this year. I mean, Dak Prescott's going to make a huge difference. I mean, make no mistake about it. Now, were they not as good as they were in those other 3 years? Yeah, because they didn't address the depth. They didn't address running back. They didn't address the things that we wanted them to address. So the jury's still out on a lot of that. I mean, the defensive tackle, obviously you got Osa, but I'd like to see something else. They got a couple defensive linemen in the rotation. So, you lose Golston, you lose probably Davis. You don't know what's going to happen with Tank. I still think they'll probably bring Tank back. So you're kind of where you were. You're getting Sam Williams. Nealon's going to be a year stronger. So, I mean, you're getting a lot of those guys back. So I expect the defensive line to be better. I expect the linebackers right now to be worse because I don't know what's going on with Overshown. I like Leah Fowl. I think what's his name is probably done. I don't know how high they are on God, I forget the names. That's what happens in the offseason. You guys know what I'm talking about. So linebacker, they're going to have to address because that's right now they're worse. Cornerback, they're worse. So those are two areas that whether it be via draft or some other free agents, they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to do something. In regards to the offense, where did I get the Emmitt Smith talking football? See, now you're going to distract me. I got that years ago. I've had that since, if it was 97 when they came out, that's when I had it. And I got the Troy Aikman one too. I know I've seen them on eBay. I love going on eBay. You could probably find them there, but though a lot of what you see in this cave is OG. I've had since I was a little kid. Those Wheaties boxes you see behind, you see the 77 Cowboy statue. That is pretty much, I've had that. It's moved with me from Fort Lauderdale to St. Pete to Clearwater to, where I live now. It's moved about 7 or 8 times, and there isn't one broken piece on that. A lot of the figures, the statues, the old school stuff, I've had that since I was a kid, man. I've always collected, when I'm working at the grocery store, some people bought clothes and bought this and that. I bought cowboy shit. That's what I did. So, yeah, I saw he's already dancing, but dancing and playing are two different things. But he'll be back at some point, but I don't expect him to be back. That was the word. Yeah, that was terrible. He'll never live that down. He'll never live that down. Too tired. I think Nealon's going to be better too. I agree with you. So running back, Frankie, Williams he's going to be there too. They're going to draft a running back. So if they don't draft a running back, he got me there. Wide receiver, they're going to draft a wide receiver. Now, I'd like to see him get a veteran. I'd like him to get Tyler. I talked about Lockett. I talked about Cooper Kupp. I mean, there's some guys out there. I would like him to get at least a veteran guy just to give a little stability. If they want to bring Cooks back, fine. Cornerback, that's the spot, Frank. That is the spot that is going to be it's going to be, and I appreciate it, Chris, man. I'm due for another update. I've changed some things around. I'm due for a little update and then maybe another tour, but we'll definitely make it happen. Michael, Williams, he's another one who's kind of moved up the charts. So yeah, I mean, they're going to have options. I mean, you're at the 12th pick. Keenan Allen, I mean, he didn't do that well in Chicago, but he had a rookie quarterback and they were going through some stuff. I've always liked Keenan Allen. He's always been solid. Obviously, he's getting up there in age, but he's always been a guy you can rely on. And I think that's what the Cowboys need. And like I said, I think they can get a receiver in the first 2 rounds, but I wouldn't mind them getting a veteran guy. Obviously, Jalen Tolbert's the veteran guy. He's going in, into what is third? Is it his 3rd year now? 3rd or 4th year, whatever it is. But he just has not made the consistent leap. And it could be, again, he had Cooper Rush throwing the ball for most of the year. So that's not really fair to judge him on that. Ravens signed Hopkins. Yeah, I did. He wasn't one on my list. Stephon Diggs, Chris, got a question on Stephon Diggs. I go back to what Michael Irvin said. Teams don't trade guys like me. Teams don't get rid of guys like me. And I'm just seeing a pattern with Stephon Diggs. I like him. I met him when he was a Viking. Nice guy. Got a picture with him after we beat him. He wasn't happy about it, but he still took the picture as a gentleman. But I don't know, man. It just seems weird. Like he went to Buffalo, put up numbers, but just kind of wore out his welcome. In Houston, obviously got hurt, but seems like, to wear out your welcome there. So that's where I don't know. So I don't know. I have that. Oh, the navy blue one. I've never seen that one, Michael. I've got the white one. I didn't know there was another Talking Football Troy Aikman. I got the one where he's talking about Super Bowl 27, And then Emmitt Smith is talking about the 95 season, when I remember like yesterday when he had that first run, 60, I think it was 60, 70 yards, whatever it was, against the Giants on Monday Night Football. I'll have to look at that Navy one because I don't have it. I do have, if you look in the upper corner up here, I have the Emmitt and Troy Aikman, like the stand-up starting lineups. They were like the bendable ones. They were kind of like plush, but plastic too. But yeah, I got all that stuff, man. I think I still got stuff like boxed up in the garage. I got too much stuff. I started trying to thin a few things or change things out, but I love getting Cowboys. I love memorabilia. I love history. I got my Super Bowl 30 ticket stub signed by Larry Brown a couple of weeks ago when I was at the Texas Black Sports Hall of Fame when he was getting inducted. I still have the Super Bowl 27 and 28 ticket stub. So I will see Emmitt Smith at some point. So I'll get Emmitt Smith to sign it. And then Troy Aikman's a tricky one. But I will definitely try and get Troy Aikman to get that signed as well. And that'll kind of complete my era, right? 77, I was 2 years old. I don't remember that Super Bowl, but the 80s and the 90s were really my era, that mid-80s Danny White kind of era with Tony Hill and Tony Dorsett and then Herschel Walker and all that. That's it. I will do that for you, man. I will do a review. I thought I played it on something, but I will cut a video up with, because I got a few talking things in here. So I'll cut a video up and maybe mix it in with a little tour or something like that. So, but anyway, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, so no, anyway, got all that good stuff. Yeah, I got Canes. Now my Cane stuff's in another room. The only Cane thing I have in here, I have my 2000 team signed helmet with all the badasses, man. You're talking about Santana Moss, Reggie Wayne, Vince Wilfork, Andre Johnson. I always tell the story is I had Ed Reed and I had Al Blades. Now, looking back, everyone will say, well, go get Ed Reed. What are you, an idiot? But anyone who's a Miami Hurricanes fan knows the Blades name is like legendary, from Benny Blades to Brian Blades. So this was Al Blades, not even Al Blades Jr. He was another Cane. But so I went and got Al Blades and missed out on Ed Reed and kicked myself for that one. But Al Blades was still he's a legendary Cane and on the national championship team and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, he definitely and he passed away. So, that it's good to have him. But I have a ton of autograph stuff on there. But my other Cane stuff, I've got a Clinton Portis national championship Sports Illustrated sign. I got a jersey signed. I got Sebastian the Ibis Funko signed. Kevin Williams from the Cowboys, but he was also a two-time champ, and some other guys. So anyway, the pro set cards, you talking about the Super Bowl ones? If you're talking about the Super Bowl ones, I have almost the whole set signed. Also have the 77, 78 Cowboys top set signed by everybody. I'm actually getting that encased as we speak. But if anyone knows the pro set Super Bowl memories, I had a breakfast with Percy Howard, and Percy Howard was he's known most for, he had one catch in NFL history. It was one catch in NFL history, and it was in the Super Bowl against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And so they made, his only card they ever made was a pro set Super Bowl memory card. And I met him, and I got a bunch of stuff signed. So yeah, I do. And Ultra, I'll for you, if you look in that corner, there is one. You see the Teague knocking Tio out. I have one where he was just getting ready to strip Lamar, and Lamar Thomas signed it. Not happily signed it, but he did sign it. So I have that. And that was, hey, man, you got to take the good memories with the bad. You got to take the good memories with the bad. I had some great memories as a Miami Hurricane fan. Still, hopefully, there'll be many more to go. I had great memories as a Dallas Cowboy fan, and hopefully many, many more to go. I know some of you guys are down about the signings. Some of you guys are good with the signings. Some of you guys are in the middle. I'm in the middle. I'm happy with the positions that they address because I think those are areas that I felt the Cowboys had to address. But are they the huge names that I know a lot of people, love names? But I think we got enough names, man. I really do. I think you have enough names on this team. I want players. And, if those big names are players too, then great. But I don't, you can't have the highest paid guy at every position. It's just, it's not right. And what I love about fans the most is they criticize Jerry for not spending enough on some players and then criticize him for spending too much on other players. So I've learned whatever they do, they're never going to make the fans happy. They're never going to make everybody happy. Someone's going to be pissed. I mean, people are still bitching about Dak Prescott. People bitched about CD's contract. People are going to bitch about Mike Parsons' contract. People are bitching about, Diggs' contract. But now people are bitching that they don't spend no money on these other guys. They're bargain basement, they're Dollar Tree, they're this and that. So you're never going to have enough to make people happy. And I learned that. Now this is in my Cowboys cave. I live in Florida, so I don't have no basement. If I try and dig a basement, I'll be in swimming in water. This is just a part of my house. It's kind of like my little getaway. I call it my Cowboys cave. So this is all Cowboy stuff for the most part. Like I said, I do have a couple Miami Hurricanes things, but the other one I have there is I think I've shown you guys this one is the Michael Irvin with the Canes and obviously the Dallas Cowboys. So that's the other thing that I have for the Canes. I think everything else is pretty much Dallas Cowboys. So that's what I do, man. It's what I do. Let's see. I just think we could have gotten some guys. Some of these guys next week. Vikings are a model of what we could have done to the D-line. Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll see how. I mean, you see how it pans out. I mean, they also sent their quarterback packing. Now they're going to put it all on a rookie. Now maybe he'll do well, maybe he won't, but I guess we'll see what happens. So I don't know if they're a model. I do like some of their signings, so I'm not going to hate on them. But I guess you just got to see where you can allocate your resources. They don't have, a quarterback making $55 million either, and they don't have a pass rusher that's going to be making over 40. And so, with a lot of that, when you put a lot of capital in certain positions, there's going to be sacrifices, and it's like I said, the championship teams. I don't want to say they're made of the have-nots, but it's the guys that aren't making all that money. Those are the guys that typically are the ones that are going to deliver the championships. I mean, you look no further than the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles won with their defense. I mean, yeah, they had a lot of money on that offense, but they really won with their defense and young guys, young draft picks that matured and got things going. Now they lost. I mean, the Eagles lost a lot of defense in this draft or in the free agency, whether they cut guys for salary cap reasons. They moved on from a few guys because they really couldn't pay. So, I mean, it hits things differently. So it's just, you just got to see what happens. The 49ers are about to pay their quarterback. I mean, look what they did. I mean, they lost. If they pay now, I mean, I'm to the point where I don't know if they pay him. I mean, who's he going to throw the ball to? If they get rid of Ayuk, I mean, and they lost, they gutted a lot of their defense. That's what I'm saying is you gotta capitalize on guys on rookie contracts, especially at the quarterback position. And I think that's where the Cowboys, if there's any gripe that I have with the front office, is those 4 years with Dak Prescott was on his rookie deal making $500,000, $600,000, $1 million a year. They didn't do anything to really take advantage of that from a salary cap standpoint. Now, they got hit with the Romo dead money. They had a lot of dead money that, linemen, people got hurt, bad choices or whatever. But they never really mortgaged the future to take advantage of a quarterback on that kind of deal. Because typically when the quarterback signs that big deal, it's hard. I mean, obviously Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts signed big deals and they've been able to get back, but it's not that easy. And make sure you hit that subscribe, like, and share. I'm going to be wrapping it up in a minute because I got to go head down to see my son play a little softball. But I wanted to get in here because it was the, day 2, lot of activity on social media, man. So hopefully you guys just relax a little bit. Money Mike, I don't know about Money Mike, but what's the deal with Parsons' contract and the reason why you think they're waiting too long? Also, Gallup coming back. I would not bring Gallup back. I mean, he's had major injuries, out of the league. I wouldn't bring him back. I mean, I love Gallup. I mean, let's not get sentimental. I mean, it's a business. I wouldn't do it. I mean, Parsons, I would get the deal done. I mean, the weird thing is you get the deal done, you could save more money if you really wanted to. But if they don't spend all their money, they can front load it to help them next year. But I don't know. I mean, the Cowboys, that's what they do. I mean, they're big stars. They just kind of wait. And I don't think Parsons is having any issue with it. I haven't heard anything about him holding out. He's getting $25 million guaranteed this year. So he just doesn't seem like he's in a big hurry. Yeah, I mean, maybe they work out, maybe they don't, but I mean, you've got a quarterback there with an aging, and he's still productive, the tight end, Kittle. But I don't know. It's a lot of money they're going to be paying him. Yeah, Eagles lost Williams, Sweat, Rodgers, Burks. They traded, Gardner's gone. Gardner Johnson's gone. What's his name? Slay. So, I mean, they lost a lot. Now their cornerbacks are banking on the 2 first-rounders that they got, right? They got those 2 young kids and they played well. So you're banking on that. Obviously, you got Jalen Carter. I mean, you've got what's his name from the other Georgia guy. So it just means bigger roles for them. So, yes. Frankie, hey, Frankie loves Cowboys Nation, so just want to make sure you guys know Frankie is the best, and he's in the U.S. now, but he'll be heading back to Germany. So definitely, and I'll be keeping the hope, and I'll be keeping the hype, man. They gotta give me something to get hyped about. I was hoping, that's the only good thing with a big name signing, man. I can bust through the door. I'm putting new brackets on because I think I might start damaging some of them. So I got some new brackets coming in, make sure my door's in top-notch shape. But anyway, yeah. So we're going to keep hope alive, man. And like I said, as long as they got Parsons, as long as they got Dak, as long as they got CD, and they draft what I hope will be playmakers. I'm talking playmakers. I don't want a lineman in the draft. They drafted no lineman in the first round. I'm going to cry. And I know they'll say, well, the game is won in the trenches. We have enough first round linemen. We've seen that play out. I need to see some impact guys. I need someone to strike fear in the defense. We don't have enough playmakers on offense. And I'd say, defense now, we need a playmaker on defense in the secondary because we're going to, with Bland, obviously he'll be fine, but with J. Lou gone and Diggs, you don't know when he'll be back. It's gonna be tough. I'd be fine with either one of those. I don't think EJ is going to be in the NFL. He hasn't really dominated in college. I mean, he was at Stanford and then transfer to Texas A&M. He's always kind of been like that backup guy. I don't know. I mean, maybe undrafted free agent invite because of his dad. He may get hey, and all you ask is for an opportunity. So anyway, we will check it out, and definitely I got to go run. And Bobby, I like our free agents. I like our free agents. Tell me the ones you guys got, Bobby. Tell me the ones you guys got, and then tell me the ones you lost. My Eagle fan who comes in here. We got depth, man. We got defensive line I wanted. I got an offensive lineman I wanted. I got a running back. That's what I wanted. Now give me the draft with some playmakers, and your boy's feeling good. Now, I don't know how good you're feeling about all the guys you guys are losing, but that's the nature of the beast. When you're at the mountaintop, everyone's going to want to take you, and they're going to want to take your players, or you're not going to be able to afford to keep them. It's just the nature of the business, is what we like to say. So I appreciate everyone for hanging in the cave. Do me a solid, man. We're trying to get the road to 5,000. We're getting closer and closer. I got a huge giveaway when we get to 5,000. More importantly, I would like to make sure you guys come join us tomorrow night. Attack the Cowboys. That's my guy on social media that is just causing a stir. He's causing a stir, but also he has a great YouTube channel, great Cowboys content creator. So he's coming in with Kelly and I. We're gonna see Kelly. We're gonna see how Kelly is. I'm kind of in the middle. I know my man Attack the Cowboys is a positive Cowboys fan, ultra positive, and so we're gonna chop it up. It's gonna be a lot of fun. You guys make sure you check it out. Mark gives me a super chat. I got to do it, but I got to run after this because I can't be late for my son's game. The Jets D-line got another Golston. The running back, the guard, the backups. I don't expect all pros. We need players to push out the starters. I mean, I don't know. You're going to push out your starters. I think they got depth. I think everyone loves names. I mean, everyone loves big names, and I get it, but we'll see what happens. I mean, you see what happens. There was a lot of guys that were no-name guys. I mean, you're talking, these guys were first-round draft picks. They just didn't pan out where they were at. But they had talent. It's just where's the organization getting the most of it. A lot of times it's where you're at. It's the situation you're in. Would Tom Brady be a seven-time Super Bowl champion if he didn't get with the Patriots and be under Drew Bledsoe and have some mentorship and get with a team that was coached under Bill Belichick and have that defense that was so strong for him early on in his career? It's all about the situations that you get put in. And a lot of these players, maybe a new scene will do them good. Maybe Eberflus sees something in them. So I've got no complaints because they address the positions that I wanted. I don't know every player in the NFL. I'll be honest with you. I don't study the film like we've got a lot of great content creators that study the film and they break down the players and all that. I don't. So it is what it is. It is what it is, and we'll see. And Bobby, I got a funny thing. I got to go, man, because I'm gonna be late. So after this, Bobby, a buddy of mine's a Patriots fan. He sent me all this film because I made fun of him that he lost to the Eagles, and he showed me how they cheated. And the guy was out of bounds, and this wasn't called, and the Statue of Liberty, whatever play that was, the Philly special was an illegal formation, and all this. So one day, I want to get you on the show. I want to get my boy on the show, and I want you guys to hash it out because that's what I would call. I would be in my heaven because I'd have two teams that I don't like hating on each other and beat the shit out of each other, and I can just sit back and have some popcorn. So if you're down for that, you let me know because I will make it happen because I'd love to have some of that so I can just sit back and enjoy the hate and be there. But guys, all seriousness, I got to run. You guys have a great one. We'll be live, a regular show. I just popped in tonight because my wife was out and I had time to kill. But we'll make it happen, Bobby. We'll make it happen. And but you guys check out the live show tomorrow night, 8 p.m. regular time, Dallas time, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'll see you guys. Appreciate 364 of you guys hanging in the cave. If you love your boy, get over to YouTube and hit that like. Hit that like. All you guys on Twitter, hit that like over to YouTube. And more importantly, hit that subscribe. Doesn't cost you nothing, man, but you help out your Cowboys Cave family. I appreciate it. You guys take care. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Give me somebody that's hungry. Give me somebody that's hungry. I need somebody.